On a recording. Okay. Welcome everyone. We're going to start out in a supported Virasana pose. So if you have a block, that pillow, that bolster, whatever has been comfortable and supportive for you, go ahead and grab it. And then we're just going to place it and come onto our shins so that you're resting back on it. It's almost like a little stool supporting your butt there underneath. And we're just going to allow our eyes to lightly close this morning as we settle into the space, allowing whatever has happened in this week so far to just melt away. And really focusing on our time together here, the next 60 minutes we'll spend together. Hi, welcome. Just to recap, we're going to start in a supported Virasana. So have your block underneath your booty and come onto your shins, scooting back, and then allowing your eyes to fall closed if that's comfortable. And just starting to notice your breath. No need to change anything. Allow that inhale to take its place, filling up, and the exhale to release itself, no longer serving you. Continue like that for a couple breaths as everyone is getting settled into their spots here. And I'll talk to you a little bit about what we're going to be focusing on this week. So like I sent out in the newsletter, we're absolutely going to be focusing on our twists because a lot of heat within our body happens in our digestive tract, that center core. I'm sure you've heard like build your fire, you know, your stamina, all of that happens within our belly here. And so we're going to be doing some twists to allow that space to open up once we release from that spot. And then we're also going to be focusing on those big joints below our hips and above our shoulders to really encase that entire core area. So we're going to be working on opening those spaces as well today. So now that you have a sense where we're going, allow yourself to come back to that breath. Maybe you rub your hands together, starting to build some heat. Maybe you rub your hands alongside the tops of your legs. Maybe increasing that pressure with the heels of your hands. Those nice strong muscles that serve us every day as we stand. And on our next inhale, let's place our fingers out to the sides of our body. They might be tented just a little bit. And focus on sitting up straight, stacking our vertebrae one on top of another, building upwards, lengthening on the inhale, and grounding on the exhale. Once again, let's inhale, lengthen, stacking our spine, our neck, and exhale, releasing the shoulders down into the earth. Once more like that. Inhale, stacking our spine nice and strong. And exhale, settling our shoulders into the space. So this time on the inhale, let's rise our arms up overhead, looking up. And exhale as we open them out to the right. And then inhale, open, coming back up to center. And exhale over to the left. Let's continue like that. Inhale as we rise up, feeling that stacking. Exhale as we come into our first twist here. Inhale, rising up to center. Exhale, coming down to the side. Once more on each side like that. Let me take a peek how everyone's looking so far. Nice job. And then allow your hands to settle back down onto the side of your body. Lean over and take out that block, that equipment, whatever you had stacked underneath to support you, so that now you're sitting right on the tops of your ankles. And we're gonna come into another twist here. So you're gonna flip that right foot out and then kind of scoot over to the left side so that now your booty is down on the mat and the heel of your foot is in that little sacred spot underneath there. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift that right foot, place it out and over the left knee. Let me see how it's looking here. And then all we're gonna do is inhale, once again lengthen, and then exhale, open out to your right. It doesn't need to be a super strong twist, no straining or pulling. Just inhale as you're gazing out over to the right. And exhale, maybe you work to stretch it just a little bit more. One more inhale over here. And exhale out to the right. Let's inhale as we come back to center. And then turn just a little bit over to the left, taking that counter twist. And then inhale, coming back to center, untucking that right leg, rolling onto the right side. And let's move over onto the left. So rolling out, allowing that left foot to come over your right knee. Inhale, pressing down into the earth to extend up through your spine. And then exhale as you work to twist over to your left. Inhaling and exhaling. Once again, these are early twists in our practice, so no strain. Actually, no strain anytime we're practicing, let me say that. And let's take one more breath, inhale here. And exhale, gazing out over your left shoulder. And then let's inhale, coming back to center, releasing that left foot. And then coming into a wide-legged child's pose. So our knees are out as long as the sides of the mat. And then we're just walking our hands forward, really sinking down into the hips. Imagine them nice and heavy. As you're walking forward, your forehead is on the mat. And I have lots of options for you here. You can have an active child's pose. So you're creeping your fingers forward. Just like we always say, those little ants, those spiders, those fingers are walking forward. You're keeping track of your breath. Inhaling and exhaling, sinking down into your hips. Once more, inhaling here, sinking down into our hips. And then come up into all fours, our tabletop position. And we're gonna do a reverse thread the needle. So I'm having you come up in this position so you can see me, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. So when it comes time, you're gonna lie down onto your belly, and you're gonna stick one of your arms, we'll start with the right arm out like a capital letter T. And then you're gonna tense your left fingers and roll yourself over, allowing that left leg to act as a kickstand, and then opening throughout the shoulder and chest. So now that you've had a chance to take a look at that, come down onto your belly from your tabletop. Let's stick that right arm out, tense the left fingers, kick up that left foot, and help yourself roll over onto that right shoulder. Send your breath into that shoulder space. Let me see how everyone's looking here. Nice job. And you get to control the intensity of this stretch, depending on how much you leverage that left foot and that left hand. So let's take a couple more breaths in that position here. And then last one together. Let's inhale and exhale as we roll back onto our chest, pausing in the middle. And let's place our hands down around our nipple line. Our nose is facing the earth. And let's inhale as we rise up into a low cobra. You want to make sure that your arms aren't flapping out to the side. They're tucked in nice and tight. Belly, back, booty are engaged. And then lower down. Releasing your arms. Letting your shoulders hang forward. Let's do that once again. Placing our hands right up against our nipple line. Tucking our elbows in. Really engaging through the backs of the shoulder blades. And inhale to rise up, allowing the bottom half of your body to be engaged as well. And then lower down. Releasing your hands alongside your body. And then let's work our way onto that reverse thread the needle on the other side. So I'm going to scoot out here a little bit. So that's going to mean that you take your left hand out at a capital letter T. You tense your right fingers and your foot, and then you start to roll back. And once again, you get to control that momentum, the intensity here, by leaning a little forward if it's too much, or allowing yourself to take a deeper stretch as you lean back. Breathing here, sending that breath into any points of tension. Nice job. And let's take 2 more breaths here. And our last one. And then slowly allow the body to roll back onto your belly. And place your hands alongside your body. Resting here, allowing the shoulders to rock forward into the mat, giving them their reverse twist. And then let's press up into our tabletop once again. We're going to come into some cat-cows. So make sure you have that nice flat back. And then we're going to tuck our chin in as we allow the back body to expand out, pressing down into the tops of our feet. And then exhale as we jut our booty and our chest up and outwards. Inhale as we tuck our chin, stretching through the back body. Maybe you give it a little shake like I am. Feeling what it feels like in your body today. And exhale as you open through that chest, coming into the opposite position. And then take a couple like this at your own pace. Just be mindful of the breath. And then maybe you'll do some experiments with your wrist. Maybe you'll turn one wrist upside down. Maybe you'll rock back and forth. And then maybe you'll turn the other wrist upside down, rocking side to side. Whatever feels right. And then both hands come back. And let's meet in that tabletop position, that flat back. And we're going to send our right foot back, rocking forward and back, starting to stretch out those long, strong back body, leg muscles. And then bring that knee back down to the earth. Let's do it with the left side leg. Rocking back and forth. And then bringing that left foot down. Since we're focusing on opening of the hips, we're going to take this opportunity to start to warm them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our knee into our chest for our right leg. Send it back and out. And then squat it as we bring it over to the side, as if I was going to touch my knee to my elbow, and then roll it back and down. It's almost like you're envisioning that your hip socket is just doing a little circle. Let me tell you about it once again. Knee into your chest on the left side. Send your left leg back and straight. Bend that knee, bring it into your elbow, and then place it down on the ground. Do that on the other side. Bring our left knee into our chest. Send that left leg back nice and straight. And then open that hip to the outside as you bend your knee, pretending as if you're going to touch the knee to your elbow, and then lower it down. Do that once again. Left knee into nose, left knee back and straight. Open to the left side. Curl that knee and elbow together, and then release down. Let's just shake that off. Sit back, roll our ankles or our wrists out. Nice. Let's come into that tabletop position once again. Stretching out into our nice strong plank, pressing away from the earth. Really imagining that string pulling at the end of your heels, sending them back. And then tucking our chin, coming into our first downward facing dog. As always, allow yourself to pedal out your legs, bending your knees, really sending your hips up to the sky. Breathing into the back body. Those large muscles of strength, they hold you upwards. And then come to a point of stillness. Let's take a couple breaths here. Inhaling through our nose. Exhaling through our mouth. Once more like that, inhaling through our nose. Exhaling through our mouth. And then come up onto your tiptoes, bending your knees, walking yourself to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. And let's grab the hands behind the back, clasping them together. And then just start to bring them over your forehead. Keeping a nice bend in your knee if you have tight hamstrings. Maybe doing some bounces here. And then release our arms down to the earth, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, head and neck rising up last. Coming into Tadasana, our standing well pose. Let's inhale our arms up overhead. Exhale as we swan dive, hinging at our hips, bending our knees, folding forward. Inhale as we rise halfway up to a flat back. Exhale as we lower down to the earth, stepping our right foot back, dropping down onto our knee and tucking that toe, and rising up. Allowing our hands to come to the left knee, the left inner thigh. Anjaneyasana. Nice adjustments. Feeling that stretch throughout the front of the hip flexor. Maybe your hands are up in the air. Maybe they're out like field goal posts, stretching out through the shoulders. Whatever feels right. And then place your hands down on the earth and walk them back, flipping that front foot up so that it comes to a flex position and you're stretching out the back of the left leg. Sending breath, that nice cleansing inhale, and that releasing exhale to any points of tension. And then let's walk our hands forward, untuck that back toe, press up into our low lunge, and then rise up to our high lunge. Releasing our hands down, pressing into the earth, sending that left foot back, coming into our downward facing dog once again. Let's take a couple breaths here. And then like before, come up onto your tiptoes, bending your knees, looking forward. walk, step, or jump your hands to the top of the mat. Inhale for your flat back. Exhale as you fold forward. And inhale, rising up, arms overhead. Exhale, arms to the side, Tadasana. Do that on the other side. Inhale as we rise our arms up. Exhale as we forward fold, bending our knees. Inhale as we come to our flat back. Exhale as we come forward, this time stepping our left foot back, releasing onto that back knee, untucking the toe, and walking our hands up to the inside of that right thigh, allowing this stretch to permeate down alongside that front left hip flexor. Sending breath. And then just like the other side, you can have your arms out at a goal post, up overhead. Maybe you take a little bit of a back bend, rising up before you go back, whatever feels right. And then step your hands down to the front, flipping that right foot forward and flexing, sending the stretch to the back of that leg. Breathing here. Nice. And then let's walk our hands forward, untuck that back toe, rising onto our fingertips, coming to that low lunge, and then eventually rising up to our high lunge. At this point, if you'd like to take a vinyasa, feel free. Planting your hands down, sending that front foot back, coming into your knees, chest and chin, rising up to your baby cobra, exhaling as you tuck back into either a child's pose or downward facing dog, whatever feels right for you today. Breathing here. Let's do that again. So if you're in child's pose, come back into your downward facing dog. And then bend your knee, look forward, walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Inhale as you rise to a halfway lift. Exhale as you fold forward. And then inhale as you rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, bring our hands to heart center. Let's inhale as we bring our arms up. Exhale as we bend our knees, folding forward. Inhale for our halfway lift. Exhale, pressing into the earth, sending that right foot back, dropping that knee, crawling up into our Anjaneyasana. Allowing our hands to come down to the mat, walking that front foot into a flex position. Feeling the stretch along the back side of the left leg. Walking our hands forward, untucking the back toe, coming into low lunge, rising into high lunge. And then flip that back foot down as we move into our warrior two. Once again, a nice strong hip opener here. You want to make sure your alignment is serving you. So that means that your ankle and your knee are at a 90 degree in comparison to your hip and your foot. Nice job. And then flip that front arm up, tipping up and then back, coming into a reverse warrior here. And then straighten that front leg as you come into a reverse triangle. Bending that knee once again. And then bring both hands behind our back, clasping once again. And we're gonna turn towards the front. So that means that your back foot is gonna come up on its toe. And you're going to extend your chest to the sky. Front knee is bent as you fold down on the inside of that knee. Humble warrior. Nice and strong, imagining that your inner thighs are pulling you together. Arms clasped overhead, knee is bent, nice job. And then place your hands down on opposite sides of your foot, kicking that left foot up to the sky, coming into our downward facing dog. Breathing here. And then when you're ready, come onto your tiptoes, bending your knees, walk your step to the front of your mat. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale as you forward fold, releasing. Inhale as you rise up, arms overhead. Exhale as you bring them to heart center. Let's take that on the other side. So inhale as you rise up. Exhale as you make your way to your forward fold. Inhale for your halfway lift. Exhale as you press down. This time, let's step that left foot back. Release the knee, untuck the toe, walk your hands to your inner right thigh. And then reverse, allowing that right foot to flex, sending the stretch into the right back of leg. Walking forward, untucking that back toe, coming to your low lunge. Rising your arms up to your high lunge. Flipping that left back foot out and down. Coming into your warrior two, nice and strong. Just checking out your alignment here, everyone. Making sure that your knee and ankle are right on top of each other. And then flip that front finger, lift up and then back, coming into your reverse warrior, stretching out all of that right side. Straightening your front leg, coming into your reverse triangle. And then bending that front knee again, turning towards the front of your mat. So you're gonna come up onto your tippy toe. Nice job. And then walk yourself into the front, allowing yourself to settle into a lizard pose on this side. So you can untuck that back knee, that back left knee if you would like. Maybe you'll walk your hands down onto your forearms, allowing yourself to open through that hip. Nice job. Press up on that back foot, rising up to our high lunge. And then bring our hands behind us, like we did on the other side. And then slowly make your way down once again, allowing the chest to come on the inside of that right foot, extending your arms up overhead, coming into your humble warrior. And then release your hands down to the earth. Press into the ground, sending yourself back into a plank, child's pose, or downward facing dog. You're coming to the plank. Let's lower down to our knees, chest, and chin, going through our vinyasa, coming up into a low cobra, pressing back, and meeting everyone else in our downward facing dog. Let's breathe here. Really thinking about where you're sending that breath. Are you extending outwards, making sure all 10 fingers are pressed down into the earth? Sending breath into the shoulders. Maybe you're really focusing on your hips if you're in child's pose. Making sure they're nice and grounded down. Every exhale, you're imagining something heavy just settling you down into the earth. Nice job. And then when it feels comfortable for you, let's rise up onto our shins, just like we started in a supported Virasana pose. We're gonna go through a couple iterations of how I'll direct you into a camel pose. So you can rise up onto your shins, having a nice, strong, sturdy front body. And you can walk yourself up, leading with your chest, and then coming back, supporting your lower back with your hands. Breathing here, or, since I said I'm giving you options, there's another way you can do it. You can stay down on the ground, and you can press up and back, almost like a reverse bridge here, like a wheel pose. Both of these are options for you. So choose which one you would like to try first. I'm gonna go with the one that's higher risk so that I can show you proper alignment. So I'm gonna place my hands facing down alongside my lower back. I'm gonna engage through my booty and these strong core muscles. I'm gonna look up, imagining I'm being lifted through my chest. And then I'm eventually gonna come back. Maybe your hands hook onto your heels. You're pressing up, breathing. And then really engage through your belly once again. As you rise up, if you're down on the mat, that means you're coming down. And then let's walk our hands out and forward, coming back into a child's pose. Really tucking our chin, allowing that back body to stretch out and upwards. That counter twist on the front and back side. And let's do that once more. So whatever option you took, if you like it, go with it. If you want to try the other, that's fine too. I'm going to show you the other option, staying on the ground. So I'm going to lean back. I'm going to place my hands behind me, coming up onto my tented fingers and pressing up and back, allowing my neck to look back because I have a nice little pillow of my shoulder blades to rest on. Breathing here. And then allowing yourself to either come forward, relax down on your heels, and then come into that child's pose once again. Tent your fingers. Imagine if someone's pulling you up from the center of your back, and so you have a nice little rounded shape here. And then reverse down, coming back into our Virasana pose. Closing your eyes, allowing all the feels to come over you, whatever maybe emotions have surfaced. And just breathe. Nice job. And from here, we're going to move into some balancing poses. So stand up, give yourself that nice 2 fists distance between your feet, a nice bend in your legs. We're going to move into a tree pose, opens through the hips, and then we're going to move on to a standing bow. So let's place all of our weight into this left leg. It's going to be our standing leg. Come up onto the tiptoes of your right foot, and then open through your hip first. And then tiptoe that right foot, allowing the heel to rest on the ankle, maybe the calf, or maybe the inner thigh of that left leg. And all the options for your arms, you can keep them like I see people doing on your hips, your hands at heart center. You can allow your arms to rise up. Maybe you bring your hands behind you, opening through the chest as we continue to focus on hip and chest opening. Breathing here. Nice job. And then bring your knee out to the front, have a slight bend in that left leg and lower it down. I'm going to turn onto the side so you can see how I'm going to direct you to do our standing bow pose. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hand out to the side like someone's going to give you a low 5. And once again, you're going to have your weight in your left leg. You're going to kick that right knee up, and then you're just going to allow that hand to come to the inner arch. So it just kind of goes in, boom, smacks here. And then you can keep your hand on your hip as you kick back into this pose. Eventually, you have nowhere else to go except for your chest will fall forward. You can keep your hand like I have here, stabilizing me on my left leg, or you can bring it out in front of you. The upward kick and the backing of the kick, that point of intersection is what keeps you nice and balanced. Breathing here. If you're wobbling, that happens. And then if you fell out, try to come back in one more time. Nice job. And then release down. Give that right leg a little shake here. Good job. Let's come on to the other side. So our right leg is going to be our stabilizing leg here. We're going to bring our left toes up into the air and then turn outwards from our hip first and foremost, backing that left foot into our ankle, our calf, or our inner thigh. Once again, really focusing on the opening of that hip. This intersection here of the sole of the foot and the inner thigh, they're squeezing together. Hands can be at heart center, behind you, or up like the branches of the tree. Breathing here. Looks good. And then release, bringing that knee out in front and then lowering it down. So once again, we're going to try this bow on the other side. The other side could be so much better, could be so much worse, whatever, that's how it is. That's why we're practicing to get a little bit more balance. So take that hand out like you're going to get some money, maybe a low five, and then start to bring that foot up. The inner arch part of the foot is what I'm grabbing here. And then just like the other side, I'm going to keep my hand on my hip as I kick, 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 until I can't kick and go anywhere else. And then I have to go forward. See, this side for me seems to be a lot worse today. Opportunities to get better. Breathing here. And then slowly coming down. Once again, shaking off. Nice job. And we're going to work our way down to a seated position. So allow yourself to come to your mat. We're going to continue to stretch with the inner thighs. So we're going to come to our Baddha Konasana. And depending on your flexibility, you're going to bring your soles of your feet together. And if you're super flexible in the inner thigh, you'll be able to bring them very close to that sacred area. Or maybe you need a bit more space and your diamond is a little bit elongated. Whatever works for you. And so we're going to focus on leading with our chest as we come forward in this pose. So on our inhale, we're going to lengthen our spine, stacking them just like we have before. And exhale as we come forward with our chest. Our chin is jutted out. And then when you can't go anymore, then just slightly tuck your chin into your chest. Allowing your hands to, hold yourself on the outside of your feet. Hopefully you took a shower so you don't smell your toes. Inhaling here. And exhaling as you release, allowing yourself to come back to that seated upright position. We'll do that another time. Grasping on the outside of our toes. We inhale to stretch upwards. And then exhale, leading with our chin and our chest forward. And then tucking our chin as we exhale here. Maybe you bring your elbows to your inner thighs or your inner calf and just give a little pressure. And it's pressure actually from the inner thighs pressing up, not you pressing down with your elbows. Holding here for a couple more breaths. Two more inhales. last exhale, releasing, allowing yourself to bring your knees into your chest. Let's roll back onto our back, knees into our chest. Give them a little hug. Maybe roll around, draw some circles on the ceiling. Whatever feels right in your body today. Nice. And we're gonna come into a supported bridge. So if you had that equipment, that pillow, that bolster, maybe it's a block, a book, case of beer, whatever, near, allow yourself to bring that over. I'm gonna show you with both a block and a bolster here. So let me start out with our block version. You're gonna roll onto your back. Your knees are up in the air, feet planted on the earth. And I'm just gonna have my equipment handy here. And then on my inhale, I'm gonna send my feet into the earth as I lift my hips into the sky and stick this little guy right underneath. I want it to be in that little nook right above my booty, that spot that's called your sacrum, the lower spine. And you're just going to allow yourself to relax in this space. We did a lot of the stretching of the legs, so this will help to open up through the hips. Your arms can come out to that goal post if you like as well. Breathing here. Looks nice, ladies. Continue to send breath into any points of tension you might feel. And imagine at this point that you have a basketball in between your knees, and you're squeezing that basketball together, imagining if it's gonna pop. And then release, allowing your legs to come outwards. Let's do that once again. Squeeze that basketball, engaging all of my lower leg muscles, inner thigh, my booty wraps around and under, and I release. Let's do that once again. Really squeezing through the inner thigh, strengthening, maybe sending our hips a little bit higher here, pressing down into the earth with our heels, and then lower back onto your piece of equipment. Maybe you bring your arms up overhead as you cross them. This will help to extend through those hip flexors that we were just working, stretching out through our side body as well. Maybe close your eyes if it feels comfortable for you. And then release your arms down alongside your body. On your next inhale, press down into your heels, sending your hips high, and take that piece of equipment out, allowing your back to fall down onto the earth. And then bring that right knee into your chest and cross that right ankle over your left knee, coming into a figure four here, a supine pigeon if you'll have it. And then maybe you press gently out onto that inner right thigh. You can use your left hand to ground down into your left hip bone. Massaging in through these big muscles we've been working to open the whole class. And if you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, feel free to bring your left leg up off the mat, grabbing behind your left calf with your arms clasping together, rocking back and forth a little bit. You might feel this stretch in a different part of your hip. Maybe try pointing, flexing your right toe. Also, that should send the stretch to different places. And then if you have your knee into your chest, slowly release the left foot down into the earth. Bring that right knee into your chest. Send it up to the sky, flexing that foot. And maybe you grab on the back of your hamstrings. Maybe you walk your hand up to the back of your calf. And then just breathing here as you stretch throughout the back of that leg. Maybe you allow your arms to draw your knee a little closer to your nose. And then release, allowing that leg to fall down to the ground, giving it a little bounce back and forth. Then place that foot on the earth, bring your left knee into your chest, cross your left ankle out and over your right knee, coming into the figure four on the other side. Pressing with your left hand gently on the inner left thigh, taking your right hand and helping that right hip stay grounded. So you can open through both the front and the back side of your hips here. Nice adjustments. And then for a little extra stretch, bring your right knee into your chest. Reach through that figure four and clasp your hands on the outside of your right shin, rocking back and forth. Sending that stretch into a different part of your left hip. Maybe point and flex your left toe. Maybe you'll send that stretch into your butt doing this. Sometimes it happens to me. And breathing here. The breath will always get you through the tension points, on and off the mat. And then when you're ready, releasing your arms, placing that right foot down onto the earth, bringing your left knee into your chest, extending your left heel to the sky, and then allowing yourself, if possible, to bring that knee a little closer to your nose, stretching out through the back of the left leg. And then bend that leg, place it down on the earth, bounce it around a little bit. And then bring yourself up. Legs are out in front of you. We're kind of in an L position, as you can see here. Have a micro bend in your knee. And we're going to inhale as we bring our hands up overhead. Exhale as we lead with our chest like we've been doing, chin and chest. Grabbing, maybe it's your calf, maybe it's your ankle, maybe it's your foot. Stretching out the back, the lower back specifically. That's why we lead with our chest, because it hits in the lower back. And then walk your hands up one vertebrae at a time so it's nice and stretched. And then lowering down onto the mat once again. I got plant in my hair. Let me scoot up here. Bring those knees into your chest once again, rocking back and forth. And then take your knees over to the right side. Your arms can be out at that capital T. You just allow that stretch to come across that left shoulder, that back body, all along the left side. Breathing here, closing your eyes if that feels available. If you want a little bit extra stretch, straighten that left leg and allow that toe to just barely touch the floor. That should elongate in through the outer hip and thigh. Allowing your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. And then if you have that top leg extended, bend it in, and then allow your arms to help your knees roll back into center. Give yourself some knee circles on the ceiling, and then get ready to take that twist over to the left side. So knees into the chest, your arms can be out at a T, they can be in that goalpost, and then slowly take your twist over to the left side. Hopefully you feel a little bit more length in that shoulder, maybe through your back. Thanking yourself for showing up on the mat today, working through all of our twists, opening our heart and our chest, and extending through our hips. And if it feels good, allow yourself to straighten that top leg. I don't have enough space here. You scoot over. So that that stretch can continue along the outside of your thigh into the right hip there. Sending your breath into whatever points need a little extra love. And then if your leg is extended, allow it to come back to fold on top of the other. And then using your arms, help your knees come back into center. Rocking, drawing circles, whatever feels good. And for our Shavasana today, I'm going to give you a couple options. So our first one is the traditional Shavasana, laying on your back, arms, legs, taking the space that they need. Or you can come into that supported bridge that we were in earlier. So I'll show you the modification on that one. So you're going to be laying on your back, pressing your feet into the earth, rising your hips up, and then scooting that equipment underneath. But instead of keeping your knees up, you're going to allow your legs to fall out to the front. So that way it will once again help to open through the front of your hips. And then your third option is a supported fish. We talked about this last week a lot. So you'll take your equipment, hopefully you have a blanket you can roll up or a pillow or a cushion, and lie it long ways on your mat. Scoot your booty up to the bottom of it, and then just help yourself roll back on it. You want to make sure that your head is supported so that your entire upper body is a little bit higher than your sacred space here. And then all positions, come to a point of stillness, eyes closed. Let's take one nice strong inhale through our mouth. Exhale out. Do that again. Strong inhale. Exhale. Rest here. And just like every class, allow yourself to lie there. I'll watch over the space and the time so that we don't run over. One less thing for you to worry about. Start to deepen your inhale and your exhale. Send some movement into your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists and your ankles. Maybe look to the right and look to the left, stretching out through the neck. And then roll onto your right side body, coming into that fetal position, stacking your hips, your shoulders, your knees and ankles. Take a breath here. And then press down into the earth with that top left hand, allowing yourself to come to an upright seated position. Find that comfortable spot. Maybe it's Virasana like we started, Hero's Pose where we're on our shins, or maybe you're in a Sukhasana, easy seat like I am. Let's bring our hands to a prayer position across our heart, bowing our head. Maybe our eyes are still closed. And if you would like, please join me on the inhale for Om. Let's inhale together. Let's bring our prayer hands to that point of intuition, that third eye. Give it a little massage. Acknowledge yourself. Thank yourself for showing up to the mat today. And let's seal our time together by folding forward, thanking this earth, the place that we get to call home, our center. Rising up. Thank you once again. Have a great rest of your afternoon.